everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. We're back from Guadalcanal last week, and back into a more friendly universe by comparison. We're also debuting another new game on the channel that came out earlier this year. We're playing Age of Innovation from Vierland Spiel. In this game, similar to Terra Mystica and Gaia Project, we're trying to build out our living space for our faction. As usual, the most victory points wins this game. With that, let's go look at our starting faction and starting space. You're probably seeing a lot of similarities as you're looking at this board to Terra Mystica, and being that it is advertised as a Terra Mystica game, there are definitely a lot of similarities. So we're going to be playing this game as the Psychics. As you can see, we're also starting on swamp terrain, so you've got the same terraforming track over here, where we've got plains, then desert, mountains, lake, forest, mountains, wasteland actually, I think that is, then mountain. Those are the three spade spaces. Swamp is our home space. And we're playing as the Psychics. As far as starting resources go, we start with a Scholar, which is also known as basically a priest from Terra Mystica. 15 coins, and 3 tools. They're called tools in this game. I always call them workers. We got all that done. So we start up one on the economy and medicine tracks. We'll point that out when we get over to the board. And we actually get another tool to start with. So that'll bring us up to 4. Similar to Terra Mystica, you'll have your power cycle over here. We start with 9 in bowl 2, 3 in bowl 1. Our dwellings are what are they called? Workshops in this game. Then the trading stations are guilds. Temples are sanctuaries. Temples are actually... they're not sanctuaries. I don't remember the name for them, though. Oh, right. Schools. Then palaces, and finally universities. Now, you're probably noticing something missing, that there's not an ability where the palace is. The way that's actually something I really like about this game, is that the palace tiles are actually variable in this game. So we'll go through that when we move over to the board. I'll also grab an action token because I'll need that. Our special ability with the Psychics is we can take, once per round, we can take an action to gain 5 power, which, as you recall, will be moving it from the previous bowl to the next bowl. And we have to move from the lower bowl before we can move into a higher bowl. And then take another action after that. And everything will be in black for them. So with that, let's go meet the opponent. Our Autumn faction today is going to be the Mountain faction. This was supposed to be gray. I used red for it, but I'm not resetting with the right color. So their faction that they're going with is the Simpletons. They start up 1 on each track. A faction action is they'll take a terraform and build action, and then they'll get X victory points. We're playing on the easiest difficulty in the game, so that'll vary the points depending on what stage of the game we're at. But that's it for our factions. Now we're going to work our way, or we're actually going to skirt the board a little bit as we go through some of the new features in Age of Innovation. This is the new innovation board that comes with Age of Innovation. Similar to Gaia Project, we've got these competency tiles which are known as tech tiles, which are basically the tech tiles from Gaia Project. You take from one of those and you gain whatever resources are there. A new resource in the game that you might be noticing, you can probably see it in here, is we've got books now. So we've got 4 different factions of books. 3, where is the... oh, no. Here it is. I was looking off camera for the books, but we've got our faction book, we've got our track books, essentially. We've got medicine, economy, law, and engineering. And we'll take a stop over at the economy tracks. Is it called the economy track? Science display is what it's called. We'll take a stop over there to go through that real quick before we get into the game. But we've got, like I said, we've got our competency tiles that we gain when we upgrade to a school or a university. Similar to the favor tiles from Terra Mystica. Or what are they? They're the tech tiles in Gaia Project. The new thing, though, is the innovations up at the top of the board. So you can spend some number of books to get those. You'll have to spend from the right tracks. And there's an additional cost if you don't have your palace on the board. So let's go ahead and take a look at our innovation tiles. So costing an engineering and a medicine book plus 1 additional, we have a one-time placement of a monument that's 4 power. And I believe this one means... Okay, here it is. So we immediately build a neutral monument with a power value of 4, and we only need 2 buildings to form a city, similar to a town in Terra Mystica or a Federation in Gaia project, and we get a one-time bonus of 7 victory points. Building from the economy and law books, we have... That's relating to the science display. For that one... I'm actually going to bring the innovation book over here so I can see what these are without having to crane my neck. All right, this one is... Where is it? Immediately getting a one-time bonus of points based on your 2 highest level disciplines on the science display, which is 1 point per level you advanced. I'll explain more about that if we end up taking it, and I don't know that we will. Based on economy books plus any wild, we have... One-time bonus of building a palace, but that won't give you one of the palace tiles, I don't think. No. We immediately add 2 bowls on... We immediately add 2 power tokens to Power Bowl 3 on a one-time. And on an income, we gain 4 power. Based on the law books, we have... One-time building a school, a neutral school, and you gain a competency tile from that, I believe, right? Yes, that one was fairly straightforward. Then looking at the engineering books, we can research those for one-time place a workshop and gain 3 tools on income phase. And then from the medicine books, a special action to gain a scholar and 3 victory points once per round. Now for the competency tiles, aka the tech tiles. Anything at the top lets you advance, anything in the top row will let you advance 3 on the respective track. Then it's 2 on the track and a book. Then 1 on the track and 2 books. So we'll go through track by track. So letting you advance 3 on the economy we have. I'm going to bring the competency tiles over as well. On an income phase, you'd gain a tool and advance 1 on any track on the science display. For 2 economy and an economy, 2 on the economy track and the economy book. One-time bonus of a tool, 5 victory points, and 2 coins. Advance 1 level on the economy track and gain 2 economy books. We have one time let you place 2 annexes, which will add your power on your buildings. And if we use an annex counts as 2, the building in the annex counts as 2 buildings toward the 4 building requirement to form a city. Now looking at the law track, 3 on the law track gives us, when you pass, you would gain a number of victory points equal to your lowest level on the science display. So if we've advanced, say we've advanced, for an example, 8, 2, 5, and 3 on the tracks, we'd gain 2 points for that. 2 on the law track and a law book would give us, every time you put down a workshop, get 3 victory points. Then to advance 1 on the law track and gain 2 law books. Every time you advance on a track, you gain 2 victory points. That's by sending a scholar there. Then looking at the engineering track, advancing 3 on engineering. One-time bonus of 2 spades, which you use to terraform spaces. Then 2 on the engineering track and an engineering book we have. Gain a book and a power on income phase. advancing 1 on the engineering track and gaining 2 engineering books. One-time bonus of building, what is that? A tower, which counts as a build for gaining power. Tower is power value 2, and on income, gain 2 power and 2 coins. Looking at the medicine track now, 3 on the medicine track. Gives you an income of 3 victory points and 2 coins. 2 on the medicine track and a law book. Gives you a special action for charging 4 power. And 1 on the medicine track and 2 medicine books we have. When you pass, 2 points per city you've formed. So to be a little bit more clear on what those actually mean, when we take the respective competency tile, those are the bonuses we gain. I have a feeling that was probably a little bit confusing, but I did want to make a point of trying to clarify that. So that's everything on the innovation board. Now let's move over to the science track. Moving over to the science track will also let us take a look at our... Let me turn that a little bit. We'll also let us take a look at the bonus tiles for the game. So again, we've got our 4 tracks. We've got our economy track, law, engineering, and medicine. What's different about this game, and more similar to Gaia Project, is it might be a little bit hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in just a touch on that. I don't want to put the camera down on the table because there's a lot going on the table. But you might be able to see that starting at level 9 of each track, you actually get resources on income phase. So if you're up on the economy track high enough, and you also need a key to advance, you also need a city from a key, which will give you a key to advance above that threshold. So if you're above 9 on the economy track, you gain 3 money. At 9 or above on the law track, it lets you gain 6 power on income. Engineering gives you a tool, and medicine gives you 3 victory points. As you can see, we've got neutral scoring set up as well. The Automat faction starts up on 1 of each track. We start 1 on the economy track, 1 on the medicine track, on the medicine track. And then there's a neutral player on each of those tracks. They start up 2 on all tracks. That's only for scoring purposes at the end of the game. So let's tip back down toward the bonus tiles. Maybe zoom out just a touch. I think you can still see everything. Yeah, so the first bonus tile, which will be going to the Automa for the first round of the game, when you pass, you gain a level on the reputation track per school you have out, and 4 coins on income phase. Next one gives you a build with a free shovel and a book on income phase. Next one, when you pass, you get 4 victory points per palace or university you have out, and a tool on the income phase. On the next one, a special action to build a bridge and gain a book on income. Then here, we get 3 victory points every time we put down a trading station and gain 3 power on income. So as I mentioned, this one's going to the Automa. And then the one I think I want, I think visualizing where I'm going to place, I think I want this tile, this bonus tile, which will give me a build with a free spade and a book on income phase. That'll give me something of a start on the books. But that will do it for the science display. Now let's actually get over to the board. As you can see, we've got all the familiar actions down here as far as the power actions go. But we've also got new book actions. These are randomized throughout each game. So we'll take a look at our first book action here. We'll find, first up, we can spend a book to gain 5 power. Then spend 2 power to put down, or spend 2 books to put down a guild and gain 2 victory points. That's probably just like a special action, I think. Let me take a look at that. Yeah, return 2 books of any discipline to gain 2 points for each guild you have on the game board. So that's actually 2 victory points per guild. Then the last book action. Two books to upgrade I believe that's to upgrade a workshop to a guild for free, but it counts as a build. So those are the actions there. And then, of course, we've got bonuses for each action. So in round 1, every time we either upgrade our shipping or advance on the terraforming track, we gain 3 victory points. Every 3 we're up on the engineering track gives us a scholar, and the autumn will get 2 victory points. Round 2, if we can get an innovation, that's worth 5 points. For every 2 up on law, we'll gain 3 power, and the autumn will get 4 points. In round 3, the autumn, every workshop we put down is worth 2 victory points. Every 3 up on law will give us, on economy, will give us 4 power, and the autumn will get 3 victory points. The advancing, or the bonuses, are also how the neutral player will advance on the science tracks. Round 4, every guild is worth 3 points. For every 4 up on the medicine track, we gain a spade, and the autumn will get 5 victory points. Round 5, for every advancement we make on a science track, we gain 1 point per level. Every 3 on the medicine track gives us a book, and the autumn will gain 5 points. I forgot to go through the palace tiles. I'll do that once I finish up here. I'm trying to hold this flat because I don't want that... Because we actually have 2 actions during the last round. So every guild we put down is worth 3 points. Every workshop we put down is worth 2 points, and the autumn gets 8 points at end of game. Additionally, we also have a tile up here at the top of the board. It might be a little bit hard to see, but I'm looking at that tile up there. That will tell us how many spaces the neutral player is considered to have filled for end of game scoring. So let's take a look at our palace tiles in this game. This one's always available for us, where we gain 2 power on income phase and a one-time bonus of 10 victory points. Then, our other random palace tiles. Special action to gain 2 spades. That might be worth going for right away. And... Six coins on income phase, and one-time bonus of gaining 12 power and 2 books. Now we need to place initial workshops. So I'm going to place my first workshop... I was looking... Now that I look, I could do something up here, because that gets me to plenty of one-spot spaces. I was envisioning going here initially. Actually, I've got a few options here. If I want to get to a lot of one-spade spaces, I think we're going to go... I think we're going to go up here, though. Yes. Then I've got my map ready for the Automa factions for their starting spaces. So I'm going to shuffle this up. And then we'll set up their starting spaces based on this. All right, so this will be their starting card they will find. Power around C, not power around D. So D is out here in the middle of nowhere for them. And C, I believe, is going to be their power. C is going to be down here. So I'll get that and give them a power for that. Then I need to build the Automa deck, which I will take care of before I place my second workshop out. I want to start off with the star cards. I'm doing this all off camera, by the way. There we are. Okay. And that goes in there. Okay. Then we put card 3 on top so we get that first round. And we'll shuffle the rest of these. And I believe it's the bottom 2 sideways, right? Yes, it's perpendicular. Okay. So now that I know where the Automa is going, I can place my second workshop, and I think I'm going to go here and try to work some power off of that. Hopefully they do a lot around that power structure, but that will do it for initial setup. Now we're ready to get into this game, so let's drop down into my first income phase. On my first income phase, as usual, I get anything that's uncovered on my board. So I get 3 tools. I'm probably going to call them workers a lot in the video. I tend to use the 2 interchangeably just because I've played a lot of Terra Mystica. I'm going to need another power token, and actually what I'm going to do with these is I'm just going to start lining up power tokens by all of the book and power actions so I can mark when they get taken. There we are. Okay. Right, so I got my 3 tools, and I get a book. I will take a... I'm not really setting up for anything yet. So I guess for now I'll just take an economy book. Then we'll tip up to the board. And what do I want to do first? The bonus action this round is about upgrading on my terraforming and shipping tracks. So I think I am going to do that, which is going to cost me 5 coins, a tool, and my scholar, which I started the game with. I'll go up on the terraform track, which will give me 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And because it might have been hard to see, I'll tip back down. But there is a space in there for a resource that you gain when you cover those up. There's the same thing on the shipping track. So because I covered that, I get 2 more books, and I will take... what books do I want in this case? I think I'll just take another economy and a law book this time. Then as for the Automa, it's their usual deal, where they're going to draw 2 cards from the deck. This one will be their support, this will be their action card. So they will find. Taking a faction action around their power structure, around their power area, priority A. Okay. So around their power on priority A, they can't get to, okay, so it would help if I give them the right card. And let me grab that out here, because they're actually on the mountains. Here we go. Okay, so they're looking for a forest space, which there's one right here. So I'll find them a forest tile, or not a forest tile, a mountain tile. They'll transform and build there. Grabbing a power structure for that. And right now they're gaining no victory points because it's turn 1, but I do get to cycle a power for free, so I will gladly do that. Then back to my turn. I think with that in mind, their priority is not going to be the plains for a while. So I think here I am going to take an action to build with a free spade. So I'm going to use that spade up here to turn that into a swamp. And then I'll pay my 2 tools and my tool and 2 coins. It would help if I pay that right. So I need 3 back in change. And I'll put another workshop down there. Then as for the Automa, their next action. So this Automa action now becomes their support card. They're going to block off power actions. So they're going to block off 2 from the right. So they're blocking off this book action and this power action to build with a free spade. Let's see, what do I want to do now? I think I want to set myself up to potentially, what's next round? The innovations? How likely do I think I am to be taking an innovation next round? Probably not. Well, I'm going to give myself some options on that front. So I'm going to spend 3 coins and 2 tools because I am adjacent. I'm going to upgrade 1 adjacent to them. I'm going to take this workshop and turn it into a guild, which is basically a trading station. And then, where was the first player marker? Oh, no, never mind. That's the turn order I kind of glossed over when we were over at the science display. So the autumn is potentially passing. It looks like that when they pass up in the upper right corner. So let's see what they're doing here. They are passing, so they will become the first player. Wait. Okay, that's how it goes. So I had it set up wrong. So they're passing there. They get 2 victory points because they're up on the engineering track. Then they take the middle tile and return this one. We'll flip that over so they've passed. We'll rebuild the Automa deck. And then we've got free run of the board for a little bit here. Question is, what do I want to do with it? Well, I think what we're going to do here is we're going to spend one of our we're going to spend our economy book to gain 5 power. So that's 1, 2, and I'll move 3 into both 3, so that's ready to go. Then I'm going to take my psychic action to gain 5 power, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to take another action, which is going to be 3 power, to gain another scholar. Then what did we establish? 1, 5, and a scholar. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to pay my last 5 coins, a tool, and my scholar to go up on the terraforming track again, which will give me a total of 9 victory points because it was 6 to get up to the top and then 3 for the round action. So that brings me up to 32 victory points. Let's see. Then I think I'm pretty much done at this. Actually, no, I'm far from done at this point. I'll spend 4 power to gain 7 credits because I'm desperately short on coins at the moment. I'm calling them coins, credits, money, whatever. Then what do I want to do right now? Is there much I can do right now? I'm not really set up at all for... that's another 1. You know what? I think I'm going to work on my upper area up here. So I'm going to spend my 2 spades, or my 2 tools, 1 for a worker, 1 for a normal spade, 1 for the normal build. And I'm going to spend my 2 coins to turn this lake... Actually, I could turn this lake into a swamp and start on... Yeah, let's do that instead. Let's turn that lake into a swamp. I was going to try to make a connection up here, but I can come back to that later. And then since I'm fresh out of tools, I've got to pass for the round. So, I think with that in mind... which one do I want? Question is, do I think I'm getting a palace out this coming round? And the answer to that... A palace is actually tempting, but that would be my entire turn. That would be my entire round. Yeah, I think in this, I think here, I'm going to, oh, should have been coins on the other 3. So there would have been a coin on the bridge and a book. So there'll be coins on these 2. I think I'm going to take the... I'm not hurting for coins right now, so I think I'll take the palace, the 4 points for a palace and a university, which will give me an extra coin as well. And that action tile goes there. Then we're at end of round, so at end of round, it should be the exact same as Terra Mystica. I'm just going to double check that real quick. Yes. So grab science bonus. I'm not up on the engineering track, so I don't get that. The neutral player does go up 3 on that, though. I gave the Automa their 2 victory points for that. Remove any X tokens from what was used during the first round. Right, that goes there. Then we place coins on the unselected round tiles. Then flip the round score tile. Actually, that can go back to the box since we're done with that for the round. And where's my... I had a bag of those... Ah, there. I was going to say I had a bag of the Automa tiles set aside. So that is now back to the box. Round 2 coming up now, and this round is about innovations, but I don't know if we're putting innovations down on the... if we're going to be taking an innovation this round. Income phase gives me a total of 5 tools. I'm counting for the 1 on my round booster tile. 2 coins. And a power. That's up there. And that should be there since I'm second player. Then we'll tip back up to the board. That should have been off. And then the Automa is our first player. So for their first action, they are going up 1. They're going up 1 on a random track. Yes, and if it was a later round, they'd be taking an innovation as well, but it's not. So they're going up 1 on 2 from the right. They're going up on the engineering track. Then looking at my turn, I could use a book to get 5 power, and I think I will. So I'll spend a law book to get 5 power. So that'll move 5 up into bowl 2. Then looking at the Automa's turn, what are they doing? They're sending a scholar to the economy track. That's delightful. That's 1 from the left. Okay, so they're sending a scholar to the economy track and going up 1, 2, 3. Okay, my turn. I think we're going to go... I think we are going to take our psychic action for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to spend... How much do I want to spend on this? Let's spend 4... yeah, let's spend... Actually, no, we're going to spend 3 power to gain a scholar. Then looking at the Automa, what are they doing? They're looking to upgrade. Coming down, they're trying to upgrade to a guild first. Coming down on the board, 3 from the left. So, where's my laser pointer? Here you are. 1, 2, 3. They're upgrading this workshop to a guild. They're getting no victory points for that, but I will spend a victory point to charge to gain a power. Actually, it'll be a victory point to gain 2. Because apparently I can't remember how the power cycle works in this game, even though it's exactly the same as Terra Mystica. So I guess that is the question of, are we going all in on getting a palace this turn? And I think the answer is yes, we are. So I'm going to spend 4 tools and 6 coins. I'll upgrade this guild to my palace. And now I get my choice of what palace tile I want. And I think I want the one that gives me 2 free spades. So hopefully I can start to get that moving a little bit more cheaply. Then the Automa is potentially passing this turn. They are passing, so they're going to get 4 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they're going to take this middle tile again. And then we'll rebuild the Automa deck. As I send some of the cards flying from said Automa deck. Okay, now I've got some options available to me. It could be worth going over to the... sending a scholar over to the law track to get up on the law track a bit. And... because the neutral player isn't really going to care about the law track, so I could probably get quite far if... there if I do a little bit of advancing there. So I definitely need coins, though. That's another problem I'm going to face, because I have exactly no coin income coming this round. So I think I'm going to spend the special action to get 2 free spades. And now I've got some options available to me. I could turn this into a swamp and I could turn that into a swamp and put a workshop there. If I do that, I'd probably want to do that next round. I want to try to build at least 2 workshops next round, though. But I need serious coinage for that. I suspect my first action next round will probably be my Psychic's action, if I'm being honest. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 one-spade transformations. So I'm going to turn this lake into a swamp, and I'm going to turn this plains into a swamp. That way I'm all set for next turn, and I'm actually going to send this scholar over to the aforementioned law track. So I'll advance 3 on that, which will give me my last power out of bowl 2, or out of bowl 1. So now it's all in bowl 2. And I think that's where I'm going to pass. So I'm going to get 4 victory points because I have my palace out. 4. We'll reset those, and then looking at the board, I think I want the book on income and a free spade when I build. So that'll bring me up to 3 coins total. Then for science bonuses, I gain 3 power, which gives me 5 in bowl 3 now, so that's ready to go. Then the neutral player will advance 2 in the law track. I gave the Automa their 4 victory points already. Place coins on the bonus tiles. Oop. I may be looking for that 3 coin one pretty soon. Then this goes back to the box, so we're done with that. There we are. All right, the Automa is once again our first player. It would help if I actually remember that turn order track. Round 3 is now all about putting down workshops. Okay, so in income phase, I will take another economy book from the round booster. Then I get 4 tools. And I've got exactly Bubkiss and coins coming in, which could be a problem. Hopefully I can remedy that this turn. Unfortunately, the Automa is our first player this round, so let's see what the Automa is doing. The Automa is taking power actions, but I don't think this is going to cause me any problems. So they're upgrading, so they're taking 2 from the right on both power and book actions. So they're covering that one, and they're gaining 1 victory point for that. Thankfully, that keeps my turn pretty clear because I'm going to spend 4 power to gain 7 sorely needed coins. Then moving into the Automa's turn, their next action is sending a scholar now to the medicine track. So they're sending a scholar here and going up 3. 1, 2, 3. Not gaining any victory points for that. Let's see. That's workshops, huh? Well, I'm definitely set up to put down a lot of workshops this round. So I'm going to spend 1 tool and 2 coins to put a workshop up here. That'll give me 2 victory points. I was about to reach for red because I'm so used to being red. I haven't played red much in this game, admittedly. But in these games as a whole. Next up for the Automa, they're upgrading, trying to upgrade to trading stations again, coming down 3 from the left. So this time it's going to be 1, 2, 3. They're upgrading that workshop into a guild. And they get 1 victory point for that. Then looking into my turn, honestly, I was going to say I want a competency tile this round, but I think I screwed no! I was going to say, I think I jobbed myself out of that, but maybe not. So I'm going to take my my special action to gain 5 power, so 4, 5. Oop, I think I moved 1 too many. Then I'm going to spend a book to gain 5 more power. So this will take a little bit, but I can still, 3, 4, 5. I can still upgrade to a school and get a competency tile. Let's see what the Automa is going to be doing. The Automa is upgrading again. They're looking to upgrade. They're still looking to upgrade to a trading to a guild. So they're upgrading this guild, or this workshop, to a guild. Gain 1 victory point for that. And then since my palace is right here, I can spend 2 victory points to gain 3 power, and I think I will. 2 to gain 3. That just opens up my options that much more. So I will then spend 4 of that power to gain 2 more tools. That way I can get to a school this turn. Then looking at the Automa, they're upgrading again. This time they're upgrading to either the palace. So they're upgrading. So if they're coming up 2 from the bottom of the board, they're upgrading this guild to a palace. I believe when the Automa upgrades to a palace, place the chosen building. I'm trying to see if they gain what they do with the palace tokens, with the palace tiles. I don't think they take I don't think they take a palace tile, actually. Normally they do something like return 1 to the box, but it doesn't look like they do in this case. We'll upgrade a guild to a palace rather than upgrading to a school. So yeah, they'll upgrade this guild to their palace, gaining 2 victory points for that. I'll spend 2 more to gain 3 more power. So that's moving it back into bowl 2, almost ready to charge again. Let's see. I could start working on forming a super town over here, but I kind of want to... I'm thinking I want to make an individual town here first, maybe make another individual town up here, and then look into getting the... And then look into the super town. So I think what I'm going to do with that in mind is I'm going to take the... I don't have any lakes or plains around me right now. Unless I were to make a connection, but my connection is actually... Actually, I take that back. I could make a... Let's do this. We're actually going to spend 2 tools and 3 coins to upgrade this workshop to a guild. Then the Ottomans in their horizontal, they're in their perpendicular section again, so they're potentially passing. They are passing again, so they gain... what do they gain? 3 victory points. 3, did I remember to advance the Automa on there? Yes, I did. I did advance them to law. Alright, so they gained 3 victory points for that. They took the lead on us, and they grabbed this tile with passive 4 victory points per palace or university you have, and a worker. So that one goes back. The coin goes back because the Automa doesn't keep resources. And we're getting ready for round 4 already. Fortunately, when you're playing solo, these games tend to play a little bit quicker. And now I've got run of the board. The question is, what do I want to do with it? Because I'm actually quite nicely set up to get a... I could actually form a city right now if I wanted to, and I might. Turning the bottom 2 perpendicular. Alright, so I'm going to start off by spending 3 power to build a bridge, and I'm going to build a bridge to this swamp right here. Then, I'm going to spend, 3 tools and 5 coins to upgrade this guild to a school, which will give me a scholar on income phase. That's what's there. And then the competency tile I want is going to be... I could take the tower and form a city. It's the economy track that we're worried about right now, huh? What would I have to pay to be able to build the tower? That's not a palace tile. That's a competency tile. Where is those? Oh, those are on the back. Build a neutral tower. It's probably just anywhere I happen to have. They said in an empty hex within your reach. Okay. So, yeah. I could use coins on income, that is for sure. The Automa is the neutral player is going to start flying up the medicine track. Question is, do I kind of write that off as lost? I do want to try to get ahead of the neutral player, or not the neutral player, the Automa on some of these tracks. So what I think I'm going to do... The tower just gives me a city right now. That's actually probably worth it. So I'm going to take the build a tower with 2 power and gain two power and 2 coins on income. So I'm going to put the tower down here on a swamp. And then since I have enough power there, so I have the building requirements met, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 power, I do form a city. So now what do I want to do with it? Good question, Phoenix. What do we want to do with that? 7 victory points and going up 1 on every track doesn't really do much for me. Coins, I think, are my biggest problem in this game, so I'm going to take the 6 victory points and 6 coins. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll grab my 6 coins. Which means I could put down another workshop if I wanted to, but I'm not completely sure I do. Actually, I take that back. I think I do want to put down another workshop. So I'm going to use my round action on the booster to get a free spade for that. So I'm going to spend my worker and 2 of my coins, and I'll put a workshop. Actually, will turn. I didn't think this completely through. I actually don't need that, because I can put the workshop down up here, and that will give me another 2 victory points. So 1, 2 on that. Where did I take from? I don't think I ever went up on the... I don't start up 1 on engineering, so never mind. I'm all good there. Then I'm fresh out of... I can put down more spades to set up for further turns here, and I think I will. So I'm going to put down a spade. Let's put spades down up toward the top of the board. So I'm going to put a spade down here, and I'm going to spend 1. The rest of those are... Oh no, this forest is actually a 2-step, so I'll put let's put a spade down there to turn that into a lake. I need to go 1 more to get that to a swamp, but that will probably come next turn. Actually, you know what? I could use that. Actually, I could use the round action to... I could use the round action to just get a free spade and make that a swamp now. What I think I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to actually spend 3 power to get a scholar. Then I'm going to send the scholar to the... I'm going to send the scholar to the... Well, he's done on the engineering track, so if I can get ahead of the dummy player there, that might be worthwhile. Yeah, let's go to the engineering track. So 1, 2, 3, and that'll gain me a power because I crossed a power threshold. And terraforming build doesn't require me to build, I don't think. Before you build a workshop. You don't necessarily have to build a workshop on the hex after terraforming. Okay. So I am going to use the free round action to turn this lake the rest of the way into a swamp. Which means now I need to go looking for a swamp tile. Ah, here we are. So that is now a swamp, which means I've got options if I want to start working on forming a town up in this section of the board. But I'm going to need more coins for that, and I'm fresh out of tools right now, so that means I'm stuck passing. With that in mind, I think I'm actually going to take take the tile that gives me 3 coins and 3 points per guild I'm able to put out, which is actually very good. It's actually very well timed because I need to be worried about trying to put out guilds this round as much as possible. So the dummy player will go up 3 on the economy track. Every 3 up on the economy track, which I'm not, I gave the automator 3 points. That can go back to the box. We're into round 4 now, and the goal is all about guilds. Oh, I forgot to take a new tile. Oh, no, I did. I did take a new one. Never mind. So now we've got to put coins on the leftover 3. Now we're into round 4, and the goal now is getting guilds out on the board. On income phase, I gain 5 tools. 3, 4, 5. A scholar. And 3 power, accounting for the round booster. Then we'll tip up to the board. The Automa is our first player, so their first action is upgrading, trying to go to a school. So they're upgrading 4 coming from the bottom of the board. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're upgrading this guild to a school, and they're gaining still 1 victory point for that. So I just looked, and all of my trading and all of my workshops right now are trapped in the edges of the board, where I'd have to put down, where basically I'd have to pay through the nose in terms of coins to get trading stations down. So maybe chasing that wasn't the best idea, but I definitely needed the coins from that. So I could go all in and put, no, I couldn't. I'm 1 coin short of being able to put down a university this turn. So there's an option to be made here to just work on this area up here and maybe get that up to being a town. I've got enough swamps to do it, too. I've got enough swamps and enough resources to pull it off. So that, let's see, I could get a total of 7 power again. If I also get, I did almost forget, I get 2 coins and 2 power on income phase, because I forgot I took the competency tile that gives me 2 power and 2 coins on income. So now, that actually changes the math a little bit, where now I could put my university out if I wanted to, and that competency tile of 3 points per townhouse, or per workshop, is going to be so busted going into the last round, because I can essentially double dip on that. The question is, do I want to go for it? That is the question here. And I think what we're going to do here, yeah, they're not reaching me up here in a million years. Actually, they've mostly just been upgrading this whole game. And I can set up for having a big connection down here. So I think I am going to put another workshop down. So I'm going to take 2 coins and a tool to put another workshop down here, with the idea of eventually making this into one big super city. Then coming over to the Automa, they're looking to upgrade again. 2 from the bottom of the board. The only one that they've got is this trading station down here, so they upgrade that. Well, that's a guild, actually, so they upgrade that to another school, getting 1 victory point. I'll spend 2 to charge 3, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, I could move all of my power into... I think now I am going to move all of my power into bowl 3. So 5, then I'll take a power action for a book to move my other 5 in. So all 12 of my power is all set to go. And I'm going to probably be starting to spend it rather liberally this round. So, next up for the Automa is they're taking book actions. They're taking power and book actions. 1, 2, 1, 2, and gaining 1 victory point. As for me, I'm going to start off by spending 4 power to gain 7 more coins. I'll probably be going for workers next. And then we'll see where my options have me from there. Oop, other way. Next up we find terraforming and building around their not power structures, priority A, coming up 3. So their not power is mountain, is wasteland, they've got 1 right here. So they'll turn that into a mountain, build there, and they will gain no victory points for that, shockingly enough. Okay. Then looking at my board, let's see here. Well, okay, yeah, I'm going to go with the 4 power to gain 2 more tools, which still leaves me open to putting a university out this round. I'm trying to save my scholar for next round when I can hopefully get a big advance on one of these tracks. So here we'll find. Now they're taking an innovation. So they're advancing 1 on a track, 3 from the right. So 1, 2, 3. They're going up on the law track. And then innovations coming from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. They're advancing. They're taking this neutral school tile. So they don't... Wait. Okay, that should have been... Well, I'm just going to return this extra 1 to the box. I didn't realize that was still there from a previous game I played this. Where are the innovation tiles? The palace... Ah, innovation. There we are. Okay. Back to my turn after that little mishap. What do we want to do here? Let's go 2 coins and another tool. We'll put a workshop down up here. I can't quite form a town yet, but I'm not looking to just yet. As for the Automa, I actually need, well, they're taking a faction action around their not power structures, priority A. So they're looking for a forest here, which they find. So they'll turn that into a mountain. There we are. Putting that down there. And they gain 1 victory point for that. So they're back up to 38. They're catching up with us. Let's see, looking at my turn. Putting another swamp down up here sets me up to A, form another town, and B, make my super city, but I need to buy another bridge to get to that. So I think I will go ahead and take my palace action to turn this desert into a swamp. As for the Automa, they are in their perpendicular sections. They're potentially passing already. They are passing, so they'll get, 5 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Taking this tile, which would give them a free bridge, but we could have used that very handily. But nothing we can do about it now. They'll be the first player going into round 5. We'll rebuild the Automa decks. Or the Automa deck, I should say. Let's see, then looking at the board for me, if I can, I want to be able to put down the... If I can, I want to wait until round 6 to put down... to finish making my town. Finish making my super city. Because I can... If I take the competency tile now, that'll let me double dip on workshops. Then I can score a lot of points in... I can score a lot of points in round 6. So I think I will actually go ahead and put my university out now. So I'll spend all 5 of my tools and 8 coins, 5, 7, 8, to upgrade my school to a university, and I will take the workshop tile, which will give me 3 points every time I put down a... Wait, is that 3 points next to a river space? Because if that is, that's not as... On a border hex. Okay, change of plan. So I read that wrong. That's 3 victory points every time you put a workshop down on a border hex. So I won't be able to double dip on that. So I don't think I want that, actually. What I think I do want, though, is... They're going to start flying up the law track. Or not the law track, the medicine track. I definitely want to make sure I've got books coming in so I can keep that book synergy going. So I think I'll take the book and a power on income phase, which will let me go up 2 on the engineering track. 1, 2. Lets me charge 2 power, and it gets me an engineering book. So I can keep that going. And then I cleaned myself all out of workers, so I think now I'm out of... I think now I have to pass. So here, I will take the... I'll take the victory points for universities and palaces. We'll put power on, or put coins on these 3 bonus tiles. The Automa got their 5 victory points already. The neutral player goes up 4 on the medicine track. 3, 4. And I'm not up high enough to get a spade. So that goes back to the box. Once I find the Automa tiles. There we are. Heading into round 5. And the goal this time revolves around advancing on the science tracks. On income phase, I gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tools. I wish I was gaining... Well, I am gaining some coins. 5, 6. I'm gaining a total of 7 tools because I have 1 on the booster as well. 2 coins. 3 power. And a book. I will take a... Let's take an economy book. Because why not? Let's see. That book action lets me upgrade... That one lets me upgrade to a guild. I haven't been using that at all. But the auto is up first, so we get to see what their action is first. Their action is they're sending a scholar to a track 2 from the right. They're sending over to the engineering track. 1, 2. Not gaining any victory points for that. For my first action, these are all uncovered, by the way. We do have 2 books, so I could upgrade one of those to a guild. And I think I will. Yeah. We'll go ahead and spend the 2 engineering books to upgrade this workshop to a guild. All right, I also almost forgot I get another scholar during income phase. It would help if I actually pay attention to this stuff. Looking at the Automa, they're upgrading again. They're looking to go to a guild, coming from the top of the board. Laser pointer, 1, 2, 3. They're upgrading this guild, or this workshop, to a guild. And since it's round 2, they're getting 1 victory point. Back to me. Now I could form another city up here, because now I've got 4, 6 power worth of buildings up there. So, yeah, I think we'll go ahead with that plan. So we'll spend 2 coins and a tool to put a workshop down up here. That's 7 power, which gives me my second city. So, what do I want with it this time? I think we'll go... Let's see, 8 points and 8 power moves everything into bowl 3. But then what am I doing with it from there? Good question. 8 points and a scholar probably lets me do some serious moving up on the science displays, which would have been useful earlier in the game, but... Let's see, they're looking at the medicine track. I think here we're just going to take the one-time worker, 5 victory points and 2 tool, 5 victory points and 2 coins. Oh wait, no. I don't get competency tiles right now, I'm getting a city tile. But yeah, I think we'll take the 8 victory points and a scholar. That will go up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And a scholar. Now that we've got that figured out, coming over to the Automa's next turn, they are looking to upgrade again. They've only got only one workshop left on the board. They upgraded that into a guild. I don't think the Automa is winning this game on continuous space. As for our turn, now we probably could go ahead and form our super city. 3 power to put a bridge down. Seems really good, actually. So, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So we'll actually, let me see if this tile becomes a. Is there another one I'm going to need more than that? Is the question. There might be. Well, at any rate, let's work with our scholars and see what we can do here. So I'm going to send a scholar to the... I'm just checking something here. Right, he went up 4 on the medicine track. Okay, just making sure I had that straight. So here I'm going to send a scholar to the law track to go up 2 on that track, which will also let me gain 2 power. As for the Automa, their next turn is going to be power actions. This time they're taking 2 from the left. So they're blocking off, gain 2 points per guild, and gain a scholar. Which is not terribly unfortunate, but I'm going to spend 4 power to gain 7 coins. Which will bring me up to 11. Then for the Automa's next turn, they're upgrading. This is going up 1 on a track 3 from the right, so they're going up on law, and they're taking another innovation 3 from the right. So this time they're taking the build a neutral palace, gain 2 power into bowl, 2 new power into bowl 3, and 4 power on income phase. So I get that. Then looking at my turn, I should have gained 2 points for sending a scholar to a track, which I will do again. This time I'm going to send to... I'm going to send a law again. That way they can't do anything with that, and I'll gain 2 power for passing a threshold. As for the Automa, they're going to terraform and build around their not power structures on priority A. There's a mountain out here they can get to. And they won't gain anything for that because there's no victory points denoted on the board. I'm definitely going to be gaining a lot of power next turn. So making my super city in this space shouldn't be too hard. I'm going to send another scholar off to... This time I'm going to send a scholar to the engineering track. So I'll go up 2 on the engineering track, which will give me another 2 power. So now everything's ready to move into bowl 3. And that'll give me another 2 points, since I advanced on tracks. Then looking at the Automa, their next turn, because they're taking power actions again, 3 from the right this time. 1, 2, 3, they're covering up 2 workers, and they're covering up a book for 5 power, and getting 1 victory point. As for me, I could put out another school and gain... I could put out a school and gain another competency tile, and I think I will. So that'll be 3 tools and 5 coins to upgrade this guild into another school. And then the competency tile I want here is... I definitely have options. I think here, though, I want the... Can I get past them on any other track? I'm getting 2 scholars next turn, so maybe. We'll find out, though, that's for sure. But yeah, I think I'll grab the... That just gives me tools. I think I'll take the 3 victory points and 2 coins on income phase, which will let me go up 3 on medicine. So 1, 2, 3. I'm tied with the Automa right now. I gain a power for that. And then the Automa is potentially passing. They are passing, so they'll take the... So they'll get 5 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll take the middle round booster without the coin. And then the free bridge becomes available for me now if I want it. And I'm debating, do I just take it now? I don't think I do, though. So I think what I'll do here is I'll move 5 power. I'll take my psychic action to move 5 power into bowl 3, and then I get to take another action, which will be to put down 2 spades. The only question is, where do I want them now? I think we'll put 1 down here to make that a swamp, and we'll put 1 down. Actually, we can't reach this lake yet. I'll put 1 down. Put 1 down here to turn that into a plains. There's our plains. Let's see. Then I think I am pretty much tapped out. Well, I'm not tapped out, but I am going to wait. So I can A, make my super city, and B, hopefully start putting down a lot of stuff. So here I am going to pass. which means I get 8 victory points because I have both my palace and my university on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I am going to take the bridge and a book on income phase, so I will take that one. Right. So, getting set for end of round. Science bonus, I am up enough on the medicine track to gain a book. I will take a law book. I'm probably going to end up spending it next round anyway. Then we remove X tokens from here. Then we put coin. Well, actually, yeah, we do put coins on the active tokens because those can't matter for end of game scoring. Then we'll return that to the box, and we'll be into round 6, where our goals this time are guilds and workshops. But I need to change my battery, so I'll meet you guys back down for the income phase. On income phase, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tools. Wanted to make sure I had everything covered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 scholars. 2 books, which I'll take. I don't think it's going to matter, but I'll take 2 economy books. No. I'm going to take 2 engineering books. Like I said, I don't think it's going to matter, but we'll find out. So that's the 2 books done. I gain a total of 3 power. 1, 2, 3. 2 coins. And 3 victory points, going up to 62. We'll tip the camera up before the automa goes for its first turn. We have to reveal this for how many spaces the neutral player is considered to have. They are considered to have 13 spaces. So how big is our super city going to be once we make that connection? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I need to put down at least 3 workshops to be able to tie them. I need to put down at least 4 buildings, ideally, to be able to pass that. Because the Automa is not getting that in a million years. But the Automa is our first player once again, and I forgot to rebuild their deck. I usually take care of that right away, but I haven't been paying attention to that this game. The question here, though, is I can probably put down enough buildings. Right. I should be able to put down enough. Upgrading could be the problem, but let's see what the Automa is starting with. I think I know what my first action is probably going to be, though. The question is it still available? And I think the answer is yes. So they're taking power and book actions, 2 from the left. 1, 2, blocking off 2 points per guild, and 1, 2, blocking off gain a scholar. So yes, the action I wanted is still available. So we'll spend 2 tools. Actually, we're going to do this first so I don't lose it. I'm going to spend 4 power to gain 7 coins. Because I think coins are what I'm going to need most this round. Then coming over to the Automa. Coming over to the Automa's turn. They are taking another innovation, and they're going up 1 on a track, 3 from the right. So they're going up on the law track, and then they're gaining the build a monument with power 4 and gain 7 victory points. I believe they gain victory points from that. I don't think they gain. No, it doesn't look like they score from the faction, from the innovation. So that's actually very fortunate for us. And then they went up 1 on the law track already. So for my turn, I'm going to spend 3 coins and 2 tools. Actually, I actually have to terraform this first, so it's going to be 2 and 2. 2 tools and 2 coins to finish turning this plains into a swamp. Put a workshop down there, and then I'll gain 2 victory points for building. I'll gain 2 victory points for building a workshop. As for the Automa, they are looking to upgrade. So they upgrade their only workshop on the board to a guild. And they get 2 victory points for that. As for my turn, I'm going to spend another 2 and 2. I've got to be careful with this, though, because I am going to need workers at some point. But I'm going to upgrade this to another swamp once I find a swamp tile in here. There's one. Upgrade that to another swamp. Put a workshop down there, and that'll give me another 2 victory points. Automa's next turn is transforming and building around their not power on priority B. They got no mountains around them, no wasteland, forest, no, desert right here. So they'll transform that into a mountain and build there. And that'll give them no victory points for that. As for my turn, I'm going to spend 4 of my power to gain 2 workers. Or gain 2 tools. Again, I keep calling them tools and workers, but I don't think anybody cares that they're interchangeable. So coming back to the Automa's next turn, they're sending a scholar, 3 from the right. 1, 2, 3. So they're sending a scholar to the medicine track. 1, 2. And gaining 3 victory points for that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, looking at my next turn. What am I doing this turn? Well, I think I'm ready to form my super city at this point. So I'm going to take a free round action to build a bridge, and I'll build one right here. So now my super city is complete, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 buildings in it. So I need to be able to put down, I'm going to need to be able to upgrade at least twice more, and I think I've got more than enough resources to do that now. Looking at the Automa's next turn, they are taking book actions, 1 from the left this time. So they're blocking off another bridge and trade in a book for 5 power. Fortunately, I have all the bridges I need to make my connections at this point. So everything's all set there. As for my next turn, actually I'm going to spend 2 of my books, now that the book actions are blocked off. There and there. We'll upgrade one of these guilds, one of these workshops. I think we'll upgrade this one to a guild. As for the Automa, they're taking book actions again. They're only blocking off the 1 power action, which is building a workshop with 2 free spades. Looking at my turn now, yeah, now I think we just go to work. So we'll spend 2 tools and 3 coins to upgrade this guild, or this workshop, to a guild. We'll go in the right order on that. And looking at the Automa, they are taking a faction action around their power structures on priority B. So they've got a wasteland right here that they'll upgrade to. Actually, no, they can get to a mountain. Never mind. So they'll upgrade a mountain. They'll build one there, taking a power token. They gain 2 points for that. And I will cycle 1 for free, because I only have a workshop right there. Then I'll spend another 2 and 1 put a workshop down here, and that should pass me, that should get me past the neutral player. Let me check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That ties me with them, but I have more than enough resources to get past the dummy player. So now the Autumn is potentially claiming end of game. They are not. They're sending a Scholar, 2 from the right. They're sending 1, 2. They're sending to the economy track. I kind of gave up on the economy track a while ago. Then as for me, I think the only... well, I do have options available to me. The question is, if I do that, I'm going to be 1 worker short of being able to... actually, no, I'm not going to be 1 worker short because I can spend one of my scholars as a tool if I need to. What I'm going to probably be is a coin short, though. So I think I will... actually, no, I can get to the coin as well. So I think with that in mind, I will spend 2 coins, which will bring me down to 4, and a worker to put a workshop down here, and that should pass the... that should get me past the dummy player, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14. Yep, that gets me past the dummy player. And the Autumn is on their last action card of the game. The question is, are they taking the action? They are not. They're claiming end of game. So the Autumn's game is over. As for me, I don't necessarily know that I need... I definitely don't need another building at this point, so I think the only thing I do here is, do I just play for... the problem is right now I can't pass the... the problem is here I can't pass the... either of them on tracks, so I think the best I can do here is if I spend that power as a coin and go 4, 5, and my 3 tools, I'll upgrade this guild to a school, get a competency tile, and I think I want the... I think I want the one that sends me up 2 on the law track, which is a special action for 4 power, and gets me up 2 on the medicine track and 1 and a law book. And then with scholars, actually this works. I'll send a scholar to the medicine track to go up 2 on that, and I can get past that because I have 2 city tiles actually. I'll gain 2 power for that. Let's see, I probably should have had at least 4 more victory points. Yeah, I think I should have had at least 2 more victory points from upgrading a guild. Or upgrading to a guild. I think I may have just run away with this one, in truth. I'm just looking, I don't think there's much else I can do here. I mean, there's the... I think even that's kind of useless at this point. So I'm just going to claim end of game for myself because the game is over at this point. There's really not much I can do to impact the board at this point. I gave the Autumn their 8 victory points already. So with that, we're into end of game. So let's move into final scoring. The game score is very similar to how you scored in Terra Mystica. So first up, we have the continuous area scoring. The Autumn's biggest continuous space was 5. I managed to make a super city on the board for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, which was enough to get me past the dummy player of 13. So I score 18 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And the Autumn scores 6 because they couldn't get past the dummy player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I definitely got lucky on that front. Then for each track, on the economy track, the Ottoman gets 8 points. I get 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2 for me. On the law track, I get 8. The Ottoman gets 3 points because the way you score ties is you divide you add the two tiers that are tied. So in this case, we'd be adding second and third and dividing by the number of players tied, and they get an equal number of points. So I get 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 3 for the Ottoman. Same thing will be true. Well, the same thing will be true on the medicine track, but we'll come to that. The engineering track, I get 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The Ottoman gets 2 on the medicine track, 1, 2. I've got 100-point tokens in here somewhere. Here we are. There's our 100 points. Okay, so that was the engineering track. On the medicine track, like I mentioned, it's true again. So I get 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The Ottoman gets 3. 1, 2, 3. Then I get 5 points. Then every 5 coins I have left at the end of the game gives me a point. I've got exactly Bubkiss and Coinland left, so I score no points for that. That's the end of Age of Innovation, and I have very much managed to run away with this game by a final score of 112 to 79. So that will do it for this playthrough of Age of Innovation. I definitely enjoy it, but it helps that it's in the Terra Mystica universe. So anybody who's familiar with Terra Mystica, you'll pick this game up lickety-split. So I encourage you to give this a buy if you like that universe of games. But that will do it for our first, and not likely to be last, play of Age of Innovation. Friday I'm expecting to be off from work, so I think we'll have at least one game video on the channel. At the very least, I'm expecting to go through another bout in the Greatest Boxer Tournament in Title Bout 2. As for Sunday, the fall campaign in Arkham Horror, the card game, continues with the 7th scenario, Return to Black Star's Rise. As for next week, we're going to have our one repeat game on Wednesdays on the channel as we play Aeon's End. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.